I am Marlene Motivates, and welcome to the Motivated Podcast on Mondays. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, subscribe, like, and share this out. And welcome to the Motivated Podcast. And you know what we say over here, just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Motivated Podcast where we motivate one another, inspire, and empower because that's so important for us to do that on a regular basis. Welcome to the Motivated Podcast. If you have not already, like this podcast, and I would really appreciate it. So, how's everybody doing? Happy new week to everybody who is, whether live or you're watching on the replay. I hope your weekend was amazing and you are rejuvenated to start your week. Today, I wanted to talk about a thing that I see very often, people who are grown in their physical age, but they are not growing as a woman or they're not growing as a man. We can say all the time, I hear people say all the time, I'm grown, but they are not acting grown. They are not acting their age, they're acting their shoe size. And just because a person gets to be between 18 to 21 and up, it does not mean that that person is making changes to grow. And it's so important for us as women and as men to not stay in the same space our whole life, not stay in the space where we get stuck, you know. We don't want to do that. We don't want to be that person. Hi, Miss Eunice. How are you doing? Welcome to the Motivated Podcast. Appreciate you being here. I hope all is well with me. All well with me. All is well with you. All is well with me. I really appreciate you being here. Hey, Bryden, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. Hey, Miss 702. Yes, I'm glad. I'm glad you all are here. I really appreciate every single one of you. And I wanted to say that there are a lot of people, and it makes me very sad to see people who are grown but still acting like toddlers. They're still acting like they're between 2 to 5 years old. You know, it's one thing to be grown up, but it's another thing to mature and to grow as a person and leave behind certain things that are very immature, very childlike. And many people do not get the love, they don't get the support, they don't get the encouragement grow to grow as a person, you know, grow intellectually, you know, gain the knowledge, you know, put things into action. And I had to learn that for myself. Certain things that you grow up in and you become accustomed to toxicity. I was definitely one of them. I liked the drama. I liked the whatever, the tomfoolery. I liked the foolishness. I always was finding myself in between foolishness. And I had to learn that I don't have to be a part of the foolishness because I don't put myself in conversations that are uncomfortable or negative or dramatic. I don't sit around and gossip about other people because when you gossip about somebody, it's going to come back and you will be the topic of the gossip on the next round. So it's certain things that when we are younger, we're taught certain things that is not good, or we see we're in this space to where we're not growing as a woman, you're not growing as a man. You can be in that category, as I call grown but not growing. staying like you're 2 years old, or staying in the mentality to not think that you can do better. And this is who I want to reach today on this message. Many times we feel that we've been doing something for such a long time that is acceptable, and it's not. We can, at any period of time in our life, do a mindset shift. At any time, you can choose to restart, change your entire life, change your perspective, change what you think about yourself, change how you view other people, change the people that you surround yourself by. Because many times we select people who are a reflection of us. When you are in a space you're not learning, you're not growing, you're going to select those same people to be around. And those same said people will drag you down and make you feel bad about yourself. They will keep you stuck. Hi, Miss Tracy. How are you doing? Welcome. Happy Monday. If you could hit the like, I'd really appreciate it. I hope all is well with you, Miss Tracy. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Eunice. Change does not have an age limit. And I hear people say that all the time. I'm too old, or that person's too young. There is no boundary with age when it comes to maturing at any period of time, regardless of what other people say, what other people think. If you want to do something with your life, you can. But it's up to us to convince ourselves that we can make changes. Many times we don't believe in ourselves. We fear the unknown. We fear, doing something separate or different, or finally setting up those boundaries with other people because we've enabled them for so long. We've allowed people to trample all over us and walk over us to where you start to accept it as norm. Well, I've been doing this for so long, or you feel that you have to do something for everybody because they're depending on you. That's not your responsibility. Hi, Miss Roxanne. How are you doing? Welcome. It's not our responsibility to take care of another grown person. And I'm saying that with kindness, with consideration, with love and friendship to all of you motivators. We can't continue to take care of grown people. It's not your responsibility to feed, to clothe, to give money to support other people who are grown, especially the ones that are your children, are your relatives, and those you are in a relationship with. It's not your responsibility to pick up their slack, or to be miserable like they're miserable, or they don't make good choices and you wind up suffering because of them. At a certain period of time, you have to realize for yourself that this is not my responsibility. Stop picking up other people's responsibilities. Stop picking up other people's problems. If you walk away, they will have no choice but to make better decisions. See, we stay in things longer than we should. We allow people to disrespect us. We allow people to walk all over us, to use us monetarily, to use and waste our time, to know that the relationship is toxic, and we stick around. We say that this are my children, this is a person I'm in a relationship with, this is my spouse, this is my sister or my family member, this is my friend. So we stick around, right? We stick around with people who are not growing. So 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the road, they are still doing what they have been doing all along. And that means they're not growing. They're not trying to do anything different. They continue to have the same negative mindset. They continue to blame everybody else for their problem. So they may be grown. They may be grown, but they're not growing. And this is a word of caution to all of you motivators, to not allow people that you care about, people that you love, to stop you from your peace of mind, to stop you from your personal growth, to stop you from your elevation, to stop you from not having the life that you want. You know, it could be nothing is wrong with that person, but because you are always supporting them or they are depending on you for so much that you don't allow yourself to live your own personal life. It's like you have to always constantly be waiting in the wings, waiting for them to do something, and you get stuck and you don't have your dreams and you don't have your goals because they need you. They are depending on you. And we have to do something different than what we have always done, because nothing will change until you are the ones to change it. Hey, puzzle pieces, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. I appreciate you being here. I hope all is well with you. Yes, yes, Miss Tracy, we do. We have to do something different or things will stay the same. And that's why I said grown, but not growing. There's certain people, it's like they clip your wings because you're stuck. You're basically stuck. You're stuck in this toxic relationship. You're stuck helping them. You're stuck supporting people, and they don't care. All they want you to do is to continue to support them. They don't care how frustrated you are. They don't care how tired you are. They don't care how miserable you are, because the thing about it is that you keep complaining about it, but you continue to do it. You complain about helping them with X, Y, and Z. You continue to complain about supporting them or whatever it is that you're supporting them in. But until you show them, I'm no longer going to support your negativity. I'm not going to be your bank. I'm not going to take care of all of the responsibilities that you need to take care of. It's yours. I'm giving you back your life. And there are certain individuals that they're going to be upset. They're going to be angry. They're going to yell and scream and probably curse you out. That's okay. Take your life back. You know, it's the springtime right now, motivators. It's the time for rejuvenation. It's time to do so many things. And this is a great opportunity to, while things are changing, we're in a new season. We're in the 4th month of the year. It's time. When are you going to allow yourself to enjoy your life, to live your life? Because the people that depend on us, we would think that they're little babies, and they're not. The ones that we're supporting with foolishness and madness are grown people that are acting like babies. Something I have come to realize, its time is so valuable. It's something you can never get back. I'm trying to be more intentional to use my time wisely. Yes, Miss Eunice, we have to. We have to use our time wisely. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this podcast on today, is that that's one thing that you can give people: your time, your money, and your effort. You can always recover money, but you can never recover the time, or when you were so busy helping them that you got off of your focus from your dreams. And sometimes it's 10, 20, 30 years pass by that you have given to whoever these said individuals are, and they still do not have their act together. So we think that, by this period of time, they should have their act together, and they don't. They are never going to change. That's something that I had to say to myself and then believe it, because I was of the belief system that they will change, right? They're going to change. They're going to grow up. They're going to do right by me. They're going to love me. And to who needs to hear this message on today, let's stop sticking in relationships, romantic relationships, with people that it's not progressing. Actually, it's getting worse. They're not treating you the right way. They don't give you quality time. They don't listen to you. They don't communicate, and they treat you disrespectfully. Let's stop staying in relationships that are not blossoming, that they're not growing. They're never going to make changes. Every time they open up their mouth, all they will give you is an excuse, another excuse followed by another excuse, zero accountability. So that's why I said people are grown, but they're not growing. They're not growing in themselves. And if you start elevating intellectually, mentally, spiritually, financially, and they're in the same space, they become like a dead weight to you, and you start dragging them around. And how long are you going to keep holding on and carrying around other people's burdens, carrying around other people's stress? Give people back their life. Let them make their own choices. Sometimes it's very hard to do, but we have to let the people that we care about grow up, and stop bailing them out of every situation, every predicament. Okay? We can't. Okay? Yes, Eunice, it's the best thing you can do for yourself. I did it many years back and I love it. Remember, it's your time to begin with. And that's the thing, Miss Nexie, is that sometimes we forget that it's our life because you're so busy with life and work and responsibilities that you will start to pick up everybody else's responsibilities and get off track from your own peace of mind, your own mental health, your own enjoying your life, your own focus, your own things that you actually like to do. We start to forget about ourselves, and then it will start to show how we're treating ourselves. Like, when's the last time you did something nice, bought yourself a nice outfit, or took yourself on a nice vacation, or just had that alone time? We get into that rut, that routine of always pouring out so much love into other people, and we stop pouring love into ourselves. And we have to value ourselves more than that. And I see we have Miss Alicia here in the chat. How are you doing, Alicia? Welcome, welcome. Happy Monday to you. I appreciate you being here. I hope all is well with you. Yes, thank you so much, Miss Nexie, for dropping those links. I really appreciate it. We have to take our life back. And until you take your life back, until you make some decisions that you are going to make some changes, other people will control you. That adage, that saying is true. Until you take your power back, other people will keep the power. Other people will take the control. Until you make a decision to be in control, other people will control you. Other people will treat you the wrong way. Other people will disrespect you as long as you allow them to. So we have to make some critical decisions. We have to make some critical decisions of what we're going to do, of who we're going to allow to stay in our life, of what we're going to listen to and what we don't. That's why self-love is such a big key to our peace, our joy, and our motivation. Sometimes the reason why when we feel grown, and how Miss Tracy said right here, I'm tired. Many times we feel so tired, so drained, so worn out is because we're not putting those boundaries in place. We're putting everybody ahead of ourselves. We forget about ourselves. And if you have people in your life that ultimately are users, they're going to keep using you until you put an end to it. Remember, it's your life. It's your life. Yes, Miss Eunice is so true. Hey, S. Oliver, how are you doing? Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Appreciate you being here. I hope all is well with you. Appreciate your support. And we see Miss Nexie coming in with a super sticker. Thank you so much, Miss Nexie. I really appreciate it. When the super chat hits, thank you so much. Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Miss Nexie. I appreciate that super sticker. Yes, Miss Tracy says, yes, I just got out of one controlling situation. I'm so glad to hear that, Miss Tracy. I love to hear when many of my motivators, family, elevating your thinking. And I want you all to know that you all deserve peace. You deserve respect. You deserve to be in a loving environment. You don't deserve to be controlled, to be manipulated, and feel that you have to do whatever it is for whoever it is in your life because they have an attitude, because they've made poor decisions. It's not your responsibility to take care of grown people. It's not. So don't let other people manipulate your mind into thinking that you have to. No, you want me to, but I don't have to do anything I don't want to do. And the same thing for all of you. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. Remember, take your power back. And that's the thing about life, is that we sometimes get in situations to where we feel that we are controlled by our own children, or you feel you're controlled in your romantic relationship, and you're saying, what is going on? When did it get to this space to where I don't have power or control of my day, that I can't do what I want to do, that I have to do what other people want me to do because whatever their life situation, and because they're depending on me. It's one thing to ask somebody for support, but nobody has to do anything. I had to learn that. I had to learn to take my power back. And the same for all of you. Make sure you're taking your power back and doing things that is special to you. Miss Nexie says, finally, we are all in the same movement, my time. Yes. And it is. It's very important to be in that space. Miss S. Oliver says, this Monday has been Mondaying. I needed this motivational word today. Thank you so much, S. Oliver. Hopefully this will make it a little bit better. Yes, hi to everyone in the chat. Thank you so much, Alicia. Yes, the Monday has been Mondaying. Hey, Miss Lynn, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. I hope all is well with you. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your support. But that's one of the things about life, is sometimes, unfortunately, we get into situations where when a relationship breaks up, whether it be friend, whether it be romantic, whether it be work related, or it could be your own relative, sometimes when the after effects, you realize how far you got away from respecting yourself, how far you got away from, your own peace of mind, your own power, your own self-love. And I just wanted to shift that. We speak about mindset shifting over here all the time. And it's so important for us to shift our mindset and to make sure we check in with ourselves. Am I taking care of myself? Am I loving myself? Am I at peace? Do I possess joy? Am I on track with my life goals? Am I focused on the right things? See, sometimes as adults, we're grown and we're so busy chasing the dollar that we forget to spend some of those same dollars on ourselves. So, yes, while you have bills and responsibilities and people that you care about, don't neglect yourself. Spend some of those dollars on yourself. Take this from someone who learned this lesson. I think one time that it struck me that it was probably 3 or 4 years before I did something nice for myself. The last time I bought myself, because I'm a purse person, I'm a purse woman. I love my purses, and I buy myself purses as events of certain things in my life. I buy an event for important things to look back on and say, I remember this or I remember that. And everybody has something that they enjoy and like, but make sure that you're doing things that fills up your cup. When we're grown and we're so busy adulting and bills and this and responsibilities, and sometimes you just are doing so much that you just pass out at the end of the day, that you don't find things to refresh yourself. We have to do things that fills up our own cup. It's vital for your mental health. Is vital for your physical person, for your body. I'm not giving medical advice, but I know this for sure. When we don't take care of our physical health, it is going to affect our mental health, because our overall wellness all depends on each other. It does. If we don't take care of our mental health, it's going to affect our physical health. And if your physical health is not good, we won't be able to work to make the money. So then other things start to become affected because we neglect the other. So make sure, to all you grown ladies and you grown gentlemen, make sure you're taking care of you. You're pouring some of that love, some of that compassion, some of that kindness, some of that me time, some of that, recentering, refocusing, and reshifting back on yourself. There is no love like self love. And I'll say that again for those in the back who didn't hear. There is no love like self love. It doesn't matter, that you have your children, that you are in a relationship, that you have brothers and sisters and cousins and this person and that person and money and all of this and status. All of that at the end of the day means nothing if you can't look at yourself in the mirror and like the person that's looking back at you. Like the person that is looking back at you. And we get so busy sometimes that, you'll look at yourself and say, when's the last time I did my hair? When's the last time I went to a dentist? When's the last time I got an eye exam or any doctor's visits or whatever it is that you need? When's the last time I did my favorite hobby or went on a vacation? We have to take care of ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. When we love other people, never forget to love yourself. Love yourself. Self-love is the key. It's the key to everything, because if you're not okay, you can't be okay for the people who depend on you. And with that also, we have to be very careful about the people who depend on us, right? Because it can be very toxic, very toxic, these relationships that we can be in sometimes, that people are depending on us more than they should. And we have to set some boundaries and start pushing some people back. Hey, I'm doing a little bit too much for you. You have to show people, don't allow people to treat you how they want to treat you. No, you have to make them treat you how you want to be treated, because how they want to treat themselves, they probably could care less how they look, how they dress, how they feel, how tired. They could run themselves into the ground, but because we know our worth, we know our value, we know what we can do, we love ourselves, we know how to set boundaries and say, no, it's time to rest. Oh, wow, when's the last time I did this or I did that? And I have to say this too. When is the last time that you laughed? Laughter is medicine. It's medicine for your spirit, for your soul. It makes you feel good. It lowers your blood pressure. So make sure you're doing some things that bring some joy in your life. Bring some laughter. into yourself. Let's not be so serious and so rigid, because being an adult sometimes is not always the most fun, right? Those bills are not fun. Working is not always fun. Taking care of people is not always fun. So make sure that you're prioritizing yourself. See, that's the thing about grown. Some people are grown, but they're not growing. See, we can be off balance. We're so busy paying bills that it's like, oh, you look at your shoes or your clothing, and you're like, when's the last time this was updated? Sometimes you need to get rid of the old and bring in the new, even if it's not new, maybe it is newer to you. It could be something secondhand. It could be a hand-me-down, but don't forget to fill up your own personal cup. Don't always think about other people. Make sure you're looking good, you're feeling good, you're taking care of yourself, you're prioritizing your mental health. See, these are the things that we do when we're growing. It may not be something that you were taught. It may not be something that your mom, your auntie, your grandma, people who raised you, people who are in your environment, they just keep going, like that Energizer bunny. But you're not a robot. You're a human being. You're a grown woman. You're a grown man, and you know yourself and you love yourself. That is the difference. See, I didn't know about that when I was younger. See, I was just young. I was inexperienced. I let other people tell me what to do, what to think, where to be, who to support, what they should think about me. But as you get older, see, this is the growing part of us motivators. You have to not allow other people's negativity to become yours. So while you love and care and support certain people, you can't let them get your mental health off track, that you feel so frazzled, so worn out, drained, that all you want to do is sleep. Prioritize your mental health. Let me get back into the comment section. Yes, happy Monday to everyone in the chats. Yes, Miss Nexie, hit the like, everyone. Hit the like. Thank you for dropping those links, puzzle pieces. Miss Alicia says, wow, we were having similar thoughts today about thinking about your relationship with yourself. Oh, that's wonderful, Alicia. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It's one of your most important relationships. It is. And when you don't take care of yourself, you just can't function. When you're sleepy, when you don't feel well, when you're holding on to people that you need to let go of, hey, that's a message. Let's stop holding on to people that we need to let go of. The romantic relationship, the friends, the workplace, the people who are just toxic in our environment and our life. Stop holding on to them thinking that they will change. They're not going to change. They're just holding on because they can use you. They're holding on to you because they can manipulate you. Okay? But when you start knowing better, when you start loving yourself more, you can identify, no, that's toxic. No, you're using me now. No, I know the game. No, don't tell me what to do with my time. See, you have to let other people in your life see you start prioritizing yourself. Instead of always being available. No, I'm not busy. Oh, what do you, okay, tomorrow we're going to do, no, what do you mean tomorrow we're going to do this? No, I have this and this and this to do. Oh, but when, but what about me? No. This is a new life and it's a new me. Okay. You have to let people know that it's a new life and it's a new day. Maybe before you would just allow them to rule your life. You would have a day off, but you don't even get the day off. You're off and you're here and there with everybody. Then your day is over and you did nothing for yourself. Those days are gone. On my days off, I get lost. No, you can't see me. My phone is turned off. I am unreachable. And that's what we have to learn when we are growing. We are grown sometimes, but we allow people to constantly do things because we don't end it. We don't put an end to foolishness. We don't put an end to their drama. We don't put an end to, giving them money or giving them our valuable time. Okay. And don't give people your energy. When you see that somebody is just using you and playing games with you and all of those things, cut them off. Cut them off. They will never change. Okay? He was literally saying, say it again for those in the back. Yes, self-care is selfless. Your well-being is important. It's so important. And I didn't understand about, my self-care until I got into the situation that I had avoided and neglected myself for so long that I had started to feel guilty. And I was like, what is going on here? What is this new thing that I was experiencing? When I wanted to do something for myself, I started to feel bad because I was doing something nice for me. And when you do something, oh, you bought that? Oh, but I need this. No, this is for me. This has nothing to do with you. You have to show other people what I do with my money is what I do with my money. How I prioritize me is how I prioritize me. See, that's the part of life that is seeking your own friendship. You have to seek friendship with yourself, regardless of what relationships that you have. Be your own friend, okay? Not taking myself too seriously was a life-changing practice. Yes, we have to yes, there's a very important balance that I'm not saying neglect paying bills and doing what you need to do, but I mean that you have to know when it's time to be on your grind and when it's time to relax and put your feet up and have some fun. And don't forget to have that, how you approach life as a child. Don't forget about the little things, enjoying being out in nature, enjoying the things that fill up your cup. And your focus, your purpose, your reason, your passion, your reason for being and existing. See, sometimes we are going through life, but we're not enjoying our life. I think that's the separation where when I was not growing, I was doing things, just like a scratch record, a new day, same thing, new day, same thing, new day, same thing. And I was never doing anything for me. I was not doing anything in my purpose, in my passion, using my talents, things that filled up my cup and made me feel good about me. So we have to, give ourselves that permission that it's okay. I know you got off track, but we're going to get back on track. We're going to start doing things that shows that I love myself, that I'm my own friend, that even when other people don't know how to be my friend, I know how to be my own friend. See, that's growing. I had to learn that. I had to step into those shoes as a grown woman and say, yeah, I'm going to prioritize myself. I'm going to take care of me. I'm going to use my talents to the best of my ability. I'm going to focus on my mental health, okay? I'm going to do what is good for me. See, that's growing. See, maybe before we felt, oh, I have to do this for my kids. I have to do this for my spouse, my significant other, my friends, my workplace. So you're being pulled in every direction, but the direction towards you. Who are you? Sometimes we get so busy and focused on being certain roles, certain titles. I'm so busy being a mom or a dad, an auntie, a grandparent, a friend, a good employee, that what about just myself as a human being? What fulfills me? What is my passion in life? Do I even have passion anymore? Do I even have joy? What is my purpose? What is my reason for being and living besides just paying bills? So I had to give myself like a reinvention, like a new fresh start. And that's why I say all the time that we have to give ourselves a million second chances, a million opportunities to restart and to say, it's okay. Forgive yourself. That's so important to all of you motivators. See, when you're growing as a woman, when you're growing as a man, You don't beat up yourself for whatever. You are operating on where you were in your life, where you're vibrating. And sometimes we vibrate low, and we have to forgive ourselves for that. And to say, I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm gonna take care of me. I'm gonna love me. I'm gonna get back into my purpose. I'm gonna do things that bring me peace and joy because I am my own best friend. See, that's growing. That's something that we have to reach out, and we have to prioritize our own self. Even if you get off track, say, okay, we're getting back on track. I forgive you. What did you want to do? And then allow yourself to do it. Give yourself that permission, no matter how long it's been since you've done what you enjoy. Just allow yourself to do that again. Allow yourself. I had to allow myself to say, you enjoy sitting down and reading, but when was the last time you did it? Or you allow yourself, you know, you love to sing. So when's the last time you went and you sang and you got in the studio? When's the last time you got into your poetry, into your giving back, into helping, how you like to help and give for nonprofits? See, I had to redefine for me. I'm just speaking about myself. I'm not speaking on behalf of all of you motivators. I'm just giving some examples of the things that fills up my cup, the things that makes me live my life with purpose and passion, the things that make me feel good about myself. I had to allow myself that permission to take control back, to take my power back, to find my voice again, to speak up for myself. Boy, that was a big thing. That was a very big thing for me. Allowing myself the permission to say, Marlene, speak up for yourself. It's time. It's time you speak up and to say, this irritates me, or this person's using me. And why do I keep taking it? Why do I keep putting up with you? And why am I in a relationship with you when you don't care about me, when all you're doing is using me? See, that's the growing part, is when we realize what we're worth. And even if other people don't see our worth and our value, I don't ever want you to devalue yourself. I never want you to feel that you have no power or you have no control. That's what other people will want. Other people will want to take your power away. Other people will want to control you, but it's because we give our power away, because we're listening to their negativity. We're doubting ourselves. Never doubt your abilities. Never doubt your gifts. Never doubt what your reason and your purpose for existing. Every single one of us has talents. Every single one of us. But many of us don't get into it because we just say, it's been a long time since I did that. Or I'm too old now. Or I'm too young. Or I'm too this. We will make excuses, right? Let's stop making excuses for ourselves. Put back on your own oxygen mask. See, that's a part of growing up. You could be grown in age, but have you grown intellectually? Have you grown emotionally? Have you grown in loving your own self and paying attention to your spirit when your spirit tells you something is wrong or off about people in your life? Listen to it. See, that's growing. Not just letting people pull a wool over your eyes. If something doesn't feel right, if you feel that in your guts, this doesn't feel right, believe it. It doesn't steer us wrong. Never steers you wrong when you feel something is wrong and wrong about this person or that person in your spirit, or you feel something is just not right. I can't put my finger on it. You don't always know, but your spirit always tells you. Okay? That's a part of growing. Being a mature woman, a mature man, is having enough love for yourself that I love myself so much that I cannot allow another person to use me. I cannot allow people to walk all over me like a doormat. I cannot let people waste my time. Respect yourself, motivators. Hey, Boss Life Online, how are you doing? Welcome in. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. I've seen people's headaches, high blood pressure, and anxiety get better once they start to practice me time. When they learn that me time equals my time to take care of me, my mind, my body, my soul. Amen to that, Miss Nexie. And that's what we forget sometimes. We forget because we're so busy taking care of everybody else, but we're never taking any care of ourself. Yes. Thumbs up, everybody, and hi to everybody who is here in this podcast live stream. Yes, thank you so much, Miss Nexie, for dropping links. We have to take care of ourselves. And for me, I don't care if other people are upset. If you want to sleep in, if you need a vacation, if you need some days off, and the people who depend on you and you're not available and they're mad, that's their problem. It's not your problem because you're unavailable. It's not your problem because they don't know how they're going to pay their next bill because they're depending on you to pay it. That's not your problem. Stop picking up other people's problems on yourself. We have to stop. We have to stop allowing other people to give us their foolishness, give us all their negativity, and we all know them. We have those people in our own lives, and they call you ranting and raging about what other people have done to them. And there's always an injustice, it's always, but honestly, we know them. What have they done? It's the people who they never assume responsibility for themselves. See, they're grown, but they're not growing. They're not growing and acting like a grown man. They're grown, but not acting like a grown woman. Stop picking up other people's responsibilities and making them ours. It's not your responsibility to raise other people's kids. It's not your responsibility because they don't, do what they need to do, or they quit their job or get fired because they don't show up on time or do the right thing. It's not your responsibility that they chose a poor person to be in a romantic relationship with, and they're always angry and venting at you for it, but it's giving you anxiety and stress. You have to set up boundaries. You have to tell those people, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about the negativity. And they may be upset, they may be angry, but you have to know yourself and love yourself. You have to realize what is giving you anxiety and stress and stopping you from living your life and your peace of mind. You have to realize all of these things. Yes, you all are free to drop emojis. Thank you so much, Boss Life Online. It's very good for my analytics. Thank you so much. Eunice says, yes, and if you don't respect yourself, how can you respect others? How can you expect others to respect you? I had to learn to set boundaries. I have a lot less stress, and you do. You will have a lot less stress when you prioritize yourself. You have to show people, don't tell people what you're going to do. Just do it. You don't have to ask for permission like you're 2 years old. You're grown. If this is what you want to do, then do that. If you feel like you want to do X, Y, and Z, if you feel you want to go back to school, if you want to go on a vacation, if you want to go and live your life, motivators. See, that's the difference between when you're grown, but you're not growing. You don't have to get permission from who you're in a relationship because they're controlling or they don't know how to do things and they're depending on you. That's not your problem. It's not your problem that they will miss you. It's not their problem that they don't know how to do certain things. It's not your problem that they make poor decisions financially. But you got to prioritize yourself. Remember, you get one you. Okay? You get one you. And if you don't take care of yourself, you will not be here. And I hate to say it in that way to seem negative or all of those things. I'm not trying to be negative, but I am being realistic. I'm being very realistic. If you don't take care of yourself, you're going to worry yourself. Your blood pressure will be high. You'll get some health problems, and then you will not be here. And I'm so tired of hearing people say when people are no longer around, they were a good person. That's not good enough. Who wants to hear you are a good person? No, you are a person that they could use. That's what people need to start saying. I'm tired of going to places and hearing people say they were a good person. But that's the reason why they're not around anymore, because they were good to everybody but themselves. And maybe they would be around if they knew how to say, I'm not doing X, Y, and Z for you. I'm just being honest, everybody. You have to fill up your own cup. You got to take care of your own mental health. You have to love yourself. You have to be your own best friend. You have to. Hey, Miss Tamika, how are you doing? Welcome, welcome. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Thank you, Boss Life Online. I appreciate it. It's very important for us to think about ourselves. I want you to sit and pause and think about your life right now. Are you doing the things that I want to do? Ask yourself, am I doing the things that I need to do for me? How is my mental health? How is my peace of mind? Do I enjoy my life? Am I doing things that fulfill myself? How is my physical health? Am I taking care of me? Or do I need to do some more work there? Wherever you identify something that's a void or something that is not good, take things one thing at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself, motivators. You're just a human being. So one thing at a time, tackle it. Okay, I'm going to start working on my physical health. So start doing some things. And then when you see a shift and your health starts improving, then start thinking, okay, now I'm going to start taking some days off. I'm going to take some vacation. Then do that. I'm going to start going back to the gym or going out in nature. I'm going to start working on my business. But prioritize yourself. We have to prioritize ourselves. There's nobody that's going to say, oh, yeah, Eunice, take care of yourself. Nexie, take care of yourself. Tamika, Gio, Miss Rashid, take care of yourself. Everybody, take care of yourself. S. Oliver, take care of yourself. Bryden, take care of yourself. Very unlikely. It's very unlikely that people will say things like that. Miss Tracy, take care of yourself. Miss Lynn, take care of yourself. Alicia, take care of yourself. How often are you going to get that? You're not. You're not going to get people who are going to tell you, prioritize yourself, have a seat, put your feet up, take a few days off. No, they don't want that because they want to be able to use you for their own motives. Okay. And we don't always know that people are using you. But when you pay attention, really pay attention, how often do I do this for them? And are they expecting it? Do they have an attitude when you say no? That's how you know if you're being a doormat to people. Don't let people use you and trample all over you. You're a human being. You have feelings. Let people respect you. If people are disrespectful to you, you need to leave them alone. See, some people have already made a choice that they don't care about themselves. They will run themselves into the ground. They'll let people talk to them any type of way. They'll believe anything that somebody says. But what do you say? What do you say about yourself? How do you choose to treat yourself? Don't allow other people to treat you how they want to treat you, how they want to be disrespectful, how they want to be manipulative. No, that it doesn't work that way. See, when you're growing, it means that you have already told yourself in your mind, I know myself. I love myself. I'm my own best friend. I'm going to make better decisions. I'm going to prioritize my mental health. I'm going to prioritize my physical health. I'm going to work on my finances so that I can have something so that I can have in the future, so that I can take better care of me. That's growing. That's maturing, not just thinking about today, but what about in the future? And if we don't start focusing on ourselves, we will be stuck. And I don't want any of you motivators to be in a space to where you feel stuck. Okay? We'll feel that way. We'll feel stuck. We'll feel like we have to do certain things for our kids, our spouse, our significant other, our children, our job, our relatives. You feel you have to, and you don't. You don't have to do anything for anybody, but what you have to do is you have to prioritize you. See, that's the part of growing. That's the part of elevating, is realizing how much you really do matter. You really do. You really do matter. Ladies and gentlemen, to all of you motivators, you matter. Your feelings are valid. And if you have people in your life and they do not care about how they make you feel, they're very disrespectful, they're rude, they feel that they always have to have their way, you have to leave those people alone, because they're grown, but they're not growing, and we can't enable them. We can't coddle them and make them stay stuck in that behavior, because if you constantly allow them to talk to you any type of way, disrespect you, be rude to you, don't prioritize taking care of you. If somebody doesn't know how to give you love and only wants your love all the time because that's what they want, and they never think about you and how you feel, what you're going through, what you're dealing with, they don't care. They don't care. I hear people say all the time, they love one another, right? I love you. Love is an action word, motivators. Love is an action word. So because I love you, this is what I'm willing to do. People say I love you because of what they're going to receive back. They want to be taken care of. They want this, they want that. They want sexual satisfaction. There's always an ulterior motive with certain people, but they don't truly love you. They love you because it's easy. I know if I say I love you, then you're going to take me here, or you're going to do this for me, you'll support me this way. So you have to pay attention to how people are treating you. Are they love bombing you? Are they saying they love you so that they can get something from you? Or do they make you feel guilty because, oh, I don't have anybody else, and if you don't help me, then who's going to help me? Not my problem. You need to figure it out. Okay? We're taking our power back. This is 2024. We're already in April. This is springtime. And remember, we said in the beginning of the year that we were going to make a resolve to love ourselves. Remember when we did that live in January, when we talked about how we were going to change? Every year people say, new year, new start. And that only lasts about 2 weeks. They say, I'm going to change how I eat. I'm going to change my fitness. I'm going to change this. I'm going to get rid of this. And 5 months later, 6 months later, they're still doing the same things. So I'm going to give this to all of you motivators, a gift. And the gift is the gift of self-love, the gift of speaking up and taking your power back and taking control back of your life. Sometimes we do not take control of our life. We allow other people in our lives to control us. But at any time you can shift and say, this is my life. This is what I want to do. This is what I like. This is my talent, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to stop putting myself second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th, 12th. Take your power back, motivators. Take your power back. And Miss Eunice says, I try to keep my cup filled. Whatever runs over is what I give to everyone else. Yes, and I've been saying that for a long time. People always give from what they have. It's the same thing like money. Make sure that you're paying your bills. Make sure you're funding your retirement. Make sure you're doing all the things that you need to do for yourself first before you are supporting and helping other people. Okay? Because at the end of the day, when those bills come, those bills will be in your name. And they'll say, I'm sorry, I can't help you. Have you ever tried to ask for some support from other people? They're not going to help you, but they'll help make the bills. They'll help make the bills, but they're not going to help to pay them, and they will never repay them. And we know what season it is. Probably next week, everybody's going to be talking about, oh, let me hold, HOLD. Let me hold $100, $500, $1,000, and I promise I'll give it back to you in tax time. I promise I'll give it back to you in tax time. Let me hold. Then 6 months later, a year later, you still have not got back a dime, or you've got back $20 or $40 hit and miss that you've had to chase them down to get back. So I'm giving you that, awareness. Pay attention. The users are out there. They're very thirsty. They're really ready to get their next victim who they're going to prey on. They'll promise, I promise I'll pay you back. I promise, I promise, I promise. And those promises will never be kept. Come on, let's be real, motivators family. We know they don't have a job. We know they don't have the best reputation. And we know that they probably already owe you what they didn't pay you back before. So no, the answer is no. Can you hope? No, you can't. Nope, I'm not giving you any money. Nope. And the answer is no. And the answer is no. And no matter how mad you get, no matter how much times you tell me you can afford it, it's my money. It's your money. Okay? And you shouldn't have to explain that to anybody. Sad thing is when we start to practice me first, our family calls us selfish or self-centered. All it is, Miss Nexie, is they are just mad because they can't control you anymore. People get very upset and angry when they can't control your time. They can't control your money. They can't control what you are doing with your life. They get very upset and angry, and it's okay. Let them be upset and angry. Take your peace, take your power, and take your life back. Yes, Miss Eunice. They do. It's the tax season. I promise. Let me hold 2050. No. Well, you shouldn't loan money. You need to them to actually pay you back. And that's what, if you have to go without, like if you say, oh, if I give this back to you, you have to give me back because I have to pay my light bill. That's already a key indicator that you don't need to do it. Because what if they don't pay you back? Are you going to be in the dark? Are you going to be without your car because that's your car payment or your mortgage money? Come on, let's be responsible. When we know better, come on, say it with me. When we know better, we do better. And because we know better, because we are grown and we're growing, see, we're leaving all of that other stuff behind. We're not going to be immature. We're not going to say, oh, I know I shouldn't do it, but I'm going to do it anyways because that's my family, quote unquote, because that's my spouse, that's my significant other, that's my child, that's my granddaughter, that's my cousin, that's my auntie, that's my mom, my dad, that's my friend, right? We make all excuses because of titles of people in our life. But who is prioritizing us? How many people prioritize and take care of us? Not many. Yeah, because you have to assume it's a gift. Yeah, from the beginning. You have to, okay? They say they're going to give it back to you. If you can't afford to lose it, you can't afford to lend it. I remember when my mentor told me that. If you can't afford to lose it, you can't afford to lend it. Someone needs to write that down in their notes, okay? You can't, all right? Know your worth, everybody. See, when we know better, we do better. See, we're grown, but we don't want to be in that space to where we're not growing. We have to grow in our thoughts. We have to grow in setting those boundaries. Okay? Set those boundaries. Let people know that no is no. And I'm not going to change my mind. No matter how much you pout and complain and tell every single person in the family how I'm an awful person and how I don't support and how I can afford to do it, but I don't do it. And I'm so mean and you're so this and I'm so that. That's okay. It's okay. You don't have to be everybody's, you know, what do you call it, savior. It's not our job to save everybody from every problem in their life. That's not your responsibility. They need to be grown. They need to handle their own business. That's not your responsibility. Okay? Yes, that's where I am now. If I give someone something, it's a gift. Yeah. You give what you can lose. Okay? And if you can't afford to lose it, then you don't give it. Okay? See, that's the growing part. And don't feel guilty. Don't feel bad. Don't let people shame you into feeling good about yourself that you're finally taking care of yourself or going to the gym or you're having fun, you have friends, you're working on your business, you have plans, you're happy, you're at peace. A lot of people are very upset and angry when they see that you possess joy now. You know, I learned that certain people staying in my life was the reason why I did not have peace. And the moment that I let them go, my peace came into my life for like the first time. And I found out that was the reason. They were the reason why I didn't have peace. They were the reason I didn't have joy. They were the reason why my funds weren't funding because I was giving all my funds away. So when we know better, we do better. We're growing. And I want you all to stay on that path of elevation. Stay on the path of personal growth. Stay on the path of loving yourself and being your own friend and doing things that if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. Okay? See, that's what you do when you're growing. Don't do things just because you want to seem like the mother of the year, the auntie of the year, the grandma of the year, the grandpa, the father of the year, the friend of the year, the workmate of the year. At the end of the day, how do you feel? How do you feel about yourself? Can you look at yourself in the mirror and be proud of yourself? Or are you ashamed because you're allowing people to use you? Be proud of yourself that you stuck to your guns and you're taking care of yourself and you're prioritizing you. Yep, exactly, Alicia. My funds weren't funding. I'm telling you, it happened to me, and I was like, "What is even happening right now?" It's like you're working, and you can't even enjoy yourself because you're giving it to everybody. And I was like, "Oh no, this is the last time, the very last time, and it will never happen again." Know your worth, everybody. So I'm going to put the link in here one more time. And if nobody wants to come up, I'm going to bring this to a close. And I wanted to say to all of you beloved motivators that this coming Saturday, starting at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is going to be the Spring Empowerment Conference. And it's going to be Amazing Sylvia, Coach Mary Ma, Coach Sherry, Team Bill with Geo, and myself. And we're going to be talking about all sorts of different topics. So stay tuned. It's going to be on the community tab. I see Miss Roxanne back here. So let's welcome Miss Roxanne to the show. Hi, Miss Roxanne. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I loved your topic today. My brother had got a divorce 10, 15 years ago, and he lives with my mom. My dad passed away, and my mom's going to need more care than he can give her because he doesn't have enough job money coming in. And so they're living off her Social Security. And he wanted me to start giving $400 a month along with my other brother and him. And I told him no. And he asked me, well, didn't your husband leave you money when he died? And I told myself, that's my money, not to give to, I love my mother, but the United States does not help the elderly anymore. So
I agree with that, Miss Roxanne, and I'm glad that you said that it's your money and you don't have to explain to anybody in your family what you do with your money.
yeah. I mean, I don't mind helping my mother. She needed clothes about a month ago. I bought her some more clothes because she was in, the nursing home
Mm-hmm.
temporarily, and they wanted her to have pants, and she didn't own any, so I went and bought them. But I'm not going to spend $400 each month for a problem that my brother, he didn't cause it, she's just getting older.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not making enough money, so he's got to get a better job. And
Right.
we've got to have someone to watch mother, but who's going to
That,
do it?
but that's not your responsibility. It's not your responsibility altogether. It's everybody in the family, not just all on you.
Yeah.
Yep.
My other brother has 2 kids in college, and they said, we don't have that money.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I feel like that we need to get together. Like right now, she's coming out of the hospital today. Why didn't my brother tell the hospital there was no one there to take care of her, and the state would have had to take her? Which I think it's cruel, but when I'm trying to get my life back together after my husband died, I don't want the responsibility of my mother right now.
I know you everybody has their own life to live, and I'm glad that you're speaking up for yourself, Miss Roxanne. I want to welcome Miss Nexie to the show.
Hey, Nixie.
Hello, Roxanne. Hi, Marlene. Hi, chat.
Hey, welcome, welcome.
I hope you're having a wonderful day. Great topic,
I
by the way,
thank
especially
you, thank
us
you.
being so close to, especially us being so close to getting, our income tax back, because that's what we see a lot of our family
Yes,
members.
yeah. You see them all come out of the woodworks when it's tax
Yeah,
time.
they all come out of the woodwork. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, you're so on point. But this is the thing though. A lot of people, and I was listening to Miss Roxanne when she's talking about her mom, and nobody has that kind of money, right? Nobody
Right.
can help because well, I can't right now, I'm busy, or I have the kids here, or I can't do that, I can't do this, and then you see them having fun somewhere else, spending that money, and you're thinking, poor mom. You know what I mean? Like, how many
Mhm.
times she went out with something because she was raising you. And when it
Mhm.
comes time to help her, everybody has their own things, their own,
Mhm.
business, right? It's sad that that's what happens, but that is exactly what happens.
It is. It is. And that's one of the reasons why for many, many years ago we had this conversation with my family that when mom and dad gets older or whoever, if some who's going to be the ones to help care and how are we going to care? We had these conversations years ago because it's inevitable. If someone gets
Mm-hmm.
sick, what is going to happen? Who will be available? Where will they live? And if someone can't live there, like who's going to support by going to make sure everything's okay. You have to have those sort of conversations, or there's going to be a lot of frustration. A lot.
Mm-hmm. A lot of fighting,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of back and forth, right? Because nobody wants to
Mm-hmm.
take on the responsibility. But you see, for me, it's kind of I don't know, family. And this is the thing, Marlene. I lost, and I wrote it down in the chat because I was a little busy, so I didn't know if I was going to be able to come up. But for me is I lost a lot of people, and I have said this to you before on other lives, because I started saying I cannot. No, I'm not gonna lend you the money. I'm sorry, I can't, because like you said, your money, your savings are depleting. You don't know where it's going. Everybody else is doing so much better than you, and everybody's expecting you to bail them out of anything. So once I said no, I made a lot of enemies from my family
Yeah,
members. And that's
yeah,
okay
and
with me.
yeah, Miss Nexie, you know what I learned? I was like, when you have enemies, there's so much peace.
Hmm.
And my bank account was full. I mean, now it's like getting
Yeah.
chunky.
Like,
I
and
don't
I'm
get
not
invited
saying,
to,
and I'm
to
not
those
saying,
boring parties.
and I'm not saying that if you can assist, because that's the way I support certain people in my life, because I know the situation. So I just give from time to time a certain amount of money for whatever it is that
Yes.
they need, like my cousins, but I'm not going to give to the parents. I'll go and get the kids, and I know I'm going to go out and buy them outfits and shoes, because I know that those said people are not responsible with money. So if I give them money, I know they're not going to get shoes and clothes and certain things. So, you have to know the people that you're around, and yeah, you have to know the situation.
Exactly. And I'm glad you called it a gift, because that's exactly what I do too. I can gift you something. I can, this is how much I can give you. You don't have to pay that back. It's a gift. But don't expect me, because the thing is, Marlene, when people ask, like, do you have like like $20 I can borrow, or do you have like $40 I can borrow? I'll pay you, blah blah blah. I will always say, you know what? No, just take it here. I have 60. Just take them. But then it starts escalating to, do you have like 200, 300 that I can borrow?
Mhm.
I'll pay you this and this time. And when that time came and you asked for that money from the person that you have been gifting the 40s, right? They give you
Yeah.
attitude. Like,
Mhm.
you want it now? You have money. I mean, you earn, you make pretty good money. Like, you need it now, and you're looking at them like, you said you were gonna pay me this time, so I didn't gift you that money. I lend you that money. So you start making enemies out of people that you wanted to help wholeheartedly, and they're letting you down. That's when you learn that when it comes to family, and money, you don't mix the two, because you get invited to less parties from then on. You're the talk
Mhm.
of the table on anybody else's household. And so instead of you being the bad guy that way, you just do as you can. Even if I can, Marlene, and even if I do make a lot of money, it's none of their business. I work hard for my money.
And you
It's
were
not like,
very
go on.
Oh, and I was just going to add, and you were very responsible.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And it's funny because they're so entitled, because they're your family.
Mhm.
They feel entitled to your time, to your money, sometimes even to your patience with them. They feel entitled because they're family members, and you have to, unfortunately, sometimes, because I was brought up differently. I know how to respect others' money. If I get my word is pretty much the most probably valuable thing I own in the world. So if I tell you I'm going to do it this day, I will do it. I will pay you that day if I have to borrow. I don't drag things around, and I don't get resentful because I have to pay you back. But these people are brought up differently. So for me, it was very
Mhm.
hard to connect the two, that, hey, we didn't have the same upbringing. That's why this person behaves the way they do. So I had to stop myself. Even if I could help, Marlene, I had to stop myself from helping. I always wanted to, but I
Yeah.
was like, nope. Remember what happened with so and so, and this families, that's how they behave, because you start seeing that pattern, right? That they all behave the same way. You hear them talking about so and so, and then you're thinking, thinking, didn't that person take care of your kids like for 3 days last month when you were gone, and you're talking this badly about them? Like, whoa.
I know. It's crazy, and that's why you have to really pay attention. You really do, and to find out the ones that actually do care about you and the ones that don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do.
Exactly. It's as sad as it is. That's exactly how it has to be, because some people don't know. They don't know that you can be, their salvation sometimes, and they take advantage of your kindness, and it's sad. It's sad. It's really, really
It's
sad.
very it's very sad, but it's something that's one of the things that I had to learn is that we have to grow in our thinking. We have to grow in our mindset that the people that while we care about them, we can't care about them more than we care about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Exactly, Marlene.
I had to learn to
And
stop putting
that's the one
myself
thing
on
I
the
had to
back
learn.
burner.
And that's what I had to learn too. I had to learn to prioritize me,
Yep, that's what
Mhm.
I had to
not
do.
them,
Here's
because it was
me.
not going to go anywhere. Good,
What
Roxanne. Good, good.
what did you say, Miss Roxanne?
I said, this year is for me. I'm doing several trips. I'm doing me. My husband and I, we went on trips, but it was like, you want to go to Florida? We'd be there 2 nights. He ready to come home, So I'm doing trips that I want to do, and a little more, not necessarily frequently, but a little longer sometimes, or go back to Six Flags the next weekend because he never wanted to go. Things like that. I'm doing my things.
Right. Your life. You're taking your life back.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's so important to do. And I always tell everybody, say, "Oh, I'm too old, or my kids are grown, or nobody wants to go with me." I did that for a long time, waiting for people in my life to be ready to be there. Yeah, but that's not what they want to do. So I had to learn I have to have my own life and do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Hmm. I had, I do that a lot now. I've been doing it for the past, I don't know, 14 years, I think. It's that if I want to go
Mhm.
somewhere, before, like you said, Marlene, I'll be like, do you guys want to go here? And I don't know. Well, let me see. Let me find out if I can. I'll be waiting. And then finally, okay, we go. And then I started noticing, but I don't know. I didn't have money for this one. I just, wanted to come with you. So, okay, then let me, let me pay for this. Let me pay for that. So I ended up spending so much money to have people around with me that I thought, wanted to spend time. So I started learning to say, you know what, if you can't, or if you don't want, I mean, you can, but you don't want to, because that's what I started noticing, is that you can, but you just don't want to, because I see you elsewhere with
Mhm.
other people. So I said, I'm going to do it myself. So I started doing that. I will take my little guy, put him in the car, let's go. Sometimes when he wasn't here, I'll be like,
Exactly.
oh, I'm going to go away for the weekend. Then I'll be getting phone calls. Where are you at? We came here because we thought you were going to have dinner or something, how we always do. But where are you at? Oh, don't worry about it. Go ahead, have dinner. Have fun, guys. Bye.
Yeah.
And
So,
I would go on by myself, and I
you
like
know
it.
what you know what you say, Miss
I like
Nexie?
it.
You
I
tell them.
like it. I love it.
You know what you tell them when they say, "Oh, I went to have dinner." I say, "Oh, you want to have oh, but I don't need to because I'm already full. I already ate." But you can go enjoy yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm so
it is.
proud of
It.
all of you motivators. I'm so proud of you, Miss Roxanne, because I know that a long time you prioritize everybody in your life, and now you're taking your life back. And Miss Nexie, I know you're taking your life back. I'm in the space in my life. I'm taking my life back, and I know that there's others who are in the chat or watching on the replay that are taking
Mhm.
their life back. And it's a wonderful feeling when you finally start to prioritize yourself. You feel like, you feel like, yeah, I really love myself now. And I can say before, I really didn't feel that way about myself. I liked myself, but I didn't love myself.
Mm. You know, the thing is, Marlene, that a lot of people, because we come, and I've said this before, we come from similar backgrounds, you and I. And I think that when they make us feel like we're selfish because we're prioritizing us, that's where these feelings develop from. Because they want you to put everybody else first, right? So you feel guilty. You feel so guilty to put yourself first or to take care of yourself first. But in reality, those are selfish. Um, I don't want to.
Ah,
I don't want to disrespect anyone, but I felt that it's a selfish way to bring up your kids, because you should be teaching them that before they can take care of anybody else, you got to take care of you first. You got to teach
mhm.
them that. Once you're okay with you, like I've said before, mind, body, and soul, you can take care of everybody else. But the first one should be you. And I felt that in our families, you and I had that same upbringing. Everybody else comes first, even if you're falling apart. Everybody else
Yeah.
comes first. You're last.
Yeah, and it never works because they're all, all happy and smiling, and you're worn down and complaining and pouting. It's not a good, it's not supposed to
Yeah,
be
you're
that way.
broken.
Yeah, because you're not getting what you need either. My whole thing is I love to support other people, but they're not supporting you at all. That doesn't
Hmm.
work.
My support for others, Miss Roxanne, Marlene, and Chad, my support for others only extends to the point of where they're not gonna affect me or the only other person that I have to protect, my little guy. If me helping you is not gonna affect that little unit, then yes, by all means I can help you. But the minute that starts being affected, I'm done.
Exactly.
And that's a selfish thing. I figured, people will probably think that way. I don't care, because guess what? I worked to support myself and my little guy. I worked to maintain what I have achieved, and to continue on achieving, I'm hoping. And I'm the one who works hard for that. So I can help as long as that doesn't get affected, doesn't get disturbed. The minute that those two happen, then I'm gone, I'm done.
Exactly. What when you finally, like I think it took me a really long time for me to realize, like, wait a minute. It's like, how come I always have to support them? Or how come I'm always footing the bill? Or how come they never check on me, but when they need something, but they never say, hey, Marlene, do you need anything? Can I support you? Can I? It's not always about money, but even just the checking on you. Like, I just called to see how you were doing, not with any motive. Not, I call you, hey, can you do this? No, just calling just to see how you are with no motives. No, I don't want anything. I just wanted to see how you're doing. And when I noticed that I'm not getting
Hmm.
that, I realized that they were only
Yeah,
around for what they could get.
it's true. And the thing, again, it's you start noticing as you start working on yourself. And I'm pretty sure this happened to you as well, Marlene. As you start working on yourself with your therapist and you start putting yourself first, you start noticing those people that only call you when they need something, and you start dreading that phone call, or you see that number, you're like, ugh, I'm not gonna answer that one. Not today. I'm not strong enough to say no. So you wouldn't answer that. Once I learned that no, it's okay to say to anyone, that it wasn't just reserved for others, that it was be able to use in my family. Once I
Mhm.
learned that I was gonna be okay, and I was not gonna go, down there to burn, where. I
Yeah.
said, you know what? I like this word. And then I will answer with, what do you want? Oh, I
Yeah.
just wanted to see how you were doing. No, that's not what you want. What do you want? Oh, well, I wanted to know. I can't. Bye.
Yeah.
And I liked it because I didn't care answering that phone call. I actually answered that call or that text with pride. Yep, nope,
Mhm.
I cannot do it. But nope, there's no buts. Bye.
Yeah. Well, what about, and you're like, nope, 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 no. I said no plus no equals no.
Yeah, when they say what about, they start talking to themselves because I already hanged up. What about? Again, it has to. It's a power that comes that you have never felt before. Um,
Yes.
we grow up in families that take that away from us at a very early age. So for you to get that feeling of that power that you got, it's awesome. I'm telling you, Marlene, when I learned that it was okay, because you're okay sometimes saying it to friends or to people outside your family, but you feel so guilty saying it to your family, to your immediate, to your inner family. The
Mhm.
no, I can't, no, I won't. And then when I learned that that was okay, that it was not going to be the end of the world for me, um, it gave me power, it gave me peace, and it gave me less worries, because I sometimes will get money from a certain place that there was a bill to be paid in a couple of weeks, lend the money, and then when I ask for it, they'll be like, I didn't say that. Yes, you did. You told me you were going to give it to me in 2 weeks. I need to pay this bill. Well, I don't have it right now. So you know what I mean? Like, I went from having to ask for that money, worrying about that bill that I didn't have to because I already had the money, but I lent it out, to having my bills paid off for, not dealing with negative people, having peace of mind, having the freedom of having extra money, which I probably didn't have before. So yeah,
No, and that's
I
the
like
best
it.
part of that's the
You
best
have
part
to.
of it. And I'm so happy for you, Miss Maxie.
And it's not that I'm selfish or anything. It's just that that's my money. I work hard for it. And my time, this is my time. I have to take me time. I have to allocate this time for me as well, because when I'm, a nervous wreck, or I'm breaking down because I haven't had a time, of the day off for myself, and I'm like frustrated and everything, there's nobody there for me. So I had
Nobody.
to start looking at those things in that way. Nobody's there. Yeah, nobody's there for me. So I had to start looking at it that way, that, I had to take care of me. I was responsible for me. That's when it hit me. Oh, that's true. I am responsible for me, not for everybody else. If I'm responsible for myself, I have to come first. And
Mhm.
so with that in mind, you do push a lot of people away, but the people that you gain from doing that are people that are worthy of your time, and are worthy and appreciate your life. So there's a win-win in every situation.
It is, and but we're the ones that have to see. We have to see our own worth, and I say that to all of you motivators. See your power, see your worth, see your value, your focus. What you're supposed to do with your life, and give yourself that permission that, okay, I've got off track from my goals and my focus, but I can do it again. I can get back and do what I need to do for me. And that's what I feel that it's all about. Get back focused. That's important.
It is. It is. It's actually. I wish I could say it's a mandatory thing for everybody to do. Have a day,
Mhm.
a year. Everybody, today is Take Care of Yourself Day. We're gonna have it
Mhm.
every 3 months from now on, and we're gonna make it a national holiday,
Yeah.
because it's the only time you have that you can think for yourself, that you don't have other people's inputs, and you can just relax. That day is just yours to recharge your battery.
Yeah. And I know that I've talked to you about it before, Miss Nexie, but I don't think I've had this conversation with everybody here in this chat. You know, when you are taking your personal me time, you don't have to tell everybody you're taking it. Because if you do, then they're going to start having, oh, you're off? Okay. So we can do this and we can do that. The best thing for you to do is to, like, I'll just say, just like I have a regular work day and I know I have a day off, but then I go and do what I want to. And then they'll say, oh, I didn't know you were off yesterday. Yep. Well, when are you going to be off next? Not really sure.
I'll let you know. Sit down and relax. I'll let you know pretty soon when my
Sit
next
down
day
and
off is.
sit down and wait
Where
till
did Miss
next to never.
where did Miss Roxanne go?
I'm here.
Yes,
Oh,
she's here.
okay.
I'm here. You know, when
Uh,
you're retired and your family thinks, well, you have all the time in the world, you can come give more and more and more.
Mm.
You know,
I'm like,
I told myself my brother chose to get a divorce. He chose to, mom and dad to come back home because in the economy today, he can't really afford to be by, have his own place. So the house is in my brother and my mother's name. So, but I'm not available. I'm one of those that says no. And we want to put mom somewhere, like I said earlier, halfway. I want to put her in a place. My mom is an hour and 15 minutes from me. I said, let's put her halfway. And my brother said, well, you're not going to come see her anyway. I said, whether I come or not, when I don't like going the area she lives in. It's used to be you go through McDonough, Georgia, and it would take you 5 minutes. Now it takes you 20 because they gave away some of those lanes to the HOV, the Georgia thing. So I don't like going that way because I don't like driving that well. So I'd rather go back roads somewhere halfway, but he doesn't see it that way. I said, well, put her wherever you want. And when I have time, I'll come see her. If not, sorry. Because I want to do me. And I love my mom. She's 85 years old. But I told myself, I'm sorry, Dad. He passed away the same day as my husband. I said, I'm sorry, Dad, that you didn't make enough money for Mom to live on. But they didn't know how to manage their money. It's the problem.
And now it becomes like it's now your problem.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, that's a good example, Miss Roxanne, is that we have to prep for that right now that we're young. We need to start saving for, when we get older, because, the last thing you want is to become somebody else's burden. Have people decide for you. We have to save. We have to plan out and hope that, God Almighty is going to give us the time to reach 85, 90, or whatever years we can, right? But we have to plan it out so that the decisions are not made for us, but that we're making those decisions. Like your mom, she's still young, 85. She can still say, hey, okay, you know what? I'm going to go live between you two if she wants to. Or guess what? I'm not. I'm going to go and retire somewhere else. And if you guys want to come visit me, good. And if not, then oh well. That's part of life. But, I wish they would have saved a little.
Yep. And that's the whole thing. And that's the situation that I ran into. The same thing with Miss Roxanne, because nobody wanted to, oh yeah, well, I have my life. I have this, I have that. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. I'm the youngest of 10. Why is everything on me for mom and dad? I'm not the only child. Like, come on. You know what I mean? That irritated me, but I already know that that's the reason why I'm receiving so many blessings, because I gave back when I hold on. My allergies.
Oh, they're horrible right now.
Yeah, my allergies are horrible today, but I think it's so important for you to remember to give back when you can, but I do think that it's important to understand that you don't have to do what other people want you to do. You have to do what's good for you.
It is, and it's true, Marlene. I get it. It's important for us to you know take care of us and everything. But when it comes to to parents, I had the privilege to take care of or be with my mother-in-law. She was an amazing lady. She was a wonderful, wonderful mother-in-law. She was more like a mom. Rest in peace now. But I we took care of her for 15 years. She lived in our house, but she helped us raise our children. She gave us the peace of mind not to worry about having to send them to a daycare or not having anyone to be there for them when they came home from school. She was always here for our children, and they grew up with their grandmother who they adored. She passed away about 8 years ago or 9 years ago, and we missed her dearly every day. But not everybody has that privilege, or the luckiness to actually be with someone that they can get along with and help, when they're older. And maybe we're not going to be as lucky as she was, but that's why we have to pretty much, save up and make sure that we were making the right decisions so that we can still continue to be a little bit independent and not have only the youngest one take care of us or the middle one take
Mhm.
care of us. It should be a family effort, right? If they want to take care of us. But we have to put that as an option. If you want to, that's good. But I have this, I got this. I already have this planned out just in case. But if you want to be part of, my caring, then we welcome it, but we still have to make sure that we have the money and we have a place situated for us, and that so that our kids don't have to be bothered or burdened with it.
Mhm. That's the whole thing about, and that's what the growing part is. We have to stop thinking, how like people will say, when you have children, that's your old age retirement.
Yeah, oh my god, Marlene.
Uh, no.
I've heard that before.
Mm. And we can't expect that because kids have their own life, and you don't know what their mental health is, or if they're going to even live where you live. It's because people have their own lives. So,
Different times, that's the whole
yeah.
point, is that we live in different times. That probably was expected back in the 1800s, 1900s, probably, even early 1900s, but it hasn't been the case in a long time. So we have to make sure that, now we're putting money away towards our retirement, extra money, making sure, now they have so many places that they can come help you at home.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go on, Miss Marie.
Oh, sorry, Miss Nixie. I was just saying, yeah, they have so much more now than they did before. Back in the day, they didn't have home health agencies and doctors and that would come into your house. You had to go to them. Now they can come to you.
Hmm. Yeah, so for that, we have to start getting wiser and start saving for it, because we cannot, again, we cannot put this burden on our kids, and it may not be burden to them, but at the same time we cannot have them take care of us, because before that was the mentality, right? You have so many kids so that at least one of them, because I've heard this before in my culture, in my family, you had 6 7, so at least one of them is going to take care of you when you get older, because there was no savings, there was no a woman working outside the family home.
Mhm.
It was always expected that one of her children was going to take care of her, or the parents,
Mhm.
because there was no such thing. But now we have those thoughts and we have those means, so we have to start saving so that we don't become somebody else's problem. As
Yeah.
sad as that sounds.
Yeah, but it's the reality because people have their own lives, their own issues, and let's be honest, how many people want to take care of somebody else? Nobody wants to, but they do that. Like when people are in situations like, if I don't help, then they won't get help. So, sometimes you have to step in if they didn't set themselves up financially. Somebody is going to have to take care of them, but you know there are people who, like me, who say, it's not going to be me. It's going to be me. I'm sorry.
If you know how to count,
Yeah, if you know how to
don't
count,
count
count
on
me
me for
out.
that one. Don't count on me for that one. But again, we're we can work outside the household now. We can save up for retirement, save extra. I know we work towards now getting back our retirement when we are of age, but we should also have extra just in case, because you never know. And it's so
Yeah.
much better to live independently without having anybody else decide what to do with you.
hmm And then people will get so upset and angry because, oh, like it's such a burning. I have to take care of you. I have to. Whereas the difference is if you had something set up and then all they have to do is come and support you. Most times people will willingly support because it's not going to cost them anything because you've made plans. Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But I've had those cases too, Marlene, where the parents are set up to retirement and everything, and then they had the one child that will never leave the house.
Mhm.
And they get stuck with it. So, it's borderline right there.
Yeah, and there are like situations like I know that's happened to myself and a few other people where the parents come with other responsibilities, like the parents had a business or the parents have additional other things like they have elderly brothers or sisters that never had children, so it's like your aunts and uncles now become like so you have your parents older plus your aunties and uncles plus probably a special needs relative, and it's like, okay, wow, it's not what you kind of expected. And when
When does
people
it
don't,
end for me?
yeah, and you kind of like, okay, I didn't imagine this to be my older age when I should be free, but it's what happens when nobody else wants to set up and when plans were not made. And that's why I'm talking about growing. You can't just say, oh,
Hmm.
I'm old, I'm this age, I won't be gone for a long time, I don't have to think about that right now. Yes, you do. You do need to be thinking about it.
Hmm. Now that you actually can work extra towards that goal is when you should be making those plans. I mean, that's the way I feel. That
Yeah.
we're young enough to be able to make plans for when we get older, whether we is that we want to travel or we want to move to a smaller place and rent whatever house we own, whatever it is that we want to make those plans. This is the time to do it because we're not
Mhm.
getting any younger.
Yeah, you have to make plans while you still, have the thoughts in your brain like, okay, what's going to happen? Who's going to take care of me? What will it cost? Blah blah blah. What is the maintenance? Who's going to do this or that? You need to have that while you still have your full thinking. You don't want to leave that burden on anybody else to take care of it. So, yeah, that's the thing about life is we have to,
Hmm.
grow. We can't just say, oh, I'm too,
We have to
people
be
don't think
grown.
about it. Go ahead, Miss Nexie.
No, I'm saying we have to be grown now, not later. You know what I mean? Like if we are, because being of age is one thing, being grown, it's different. It's a different kind of beast. we can be of age and of an age that, hey, we can make our own decisions, we can do this, we can do that, but that doesn't mean you're grown. Being grown means you're going to be
Mhm.
taking care of everything that needs to be taken care of for now that you are this age, and then for the future.
Yeah. You have to think about the future because m- most of the time people say like, okay, your children, but the ones that don't have children, or the ones that your children are no longer living, or they live somewhere else, or you were dependent on a spouse, but then the spouse either passes away or you divorce. You have to think about all situations that you have to be, how am I going to take care of myself?
Hmm.
Mhm. Yep.
Trust me, I know. And then you end up, and it's not that that we're criticizing our parents' decisions. That's not what we're doing. But we're just, it's like a warning, right? Adhere to this. Be careful. Plan yourself. Be grown, or think like a grown up. Means not just live in the moment. It means having all of your ducks in a row for just in case something happens,
Mhm.
because you never know. You don't want to be the person that is going through something and have to depend on those family members that you cannot really depend on, have to
Yeah.
then go into assistance or borrowing and stuff like that. You don't want to be that person. We have to be grown, and that means we have to take responsibility on everything related to us and for those who are around us that depend on us.
Exactly. That's the part about growing. When we're grown, we have to stop thinking, oh, this person's gonna show up for me, my siblings or my spouse, my parents, this person and that person. We can't depend on other people for our happiness, our peace, and to take care of us when we get older. You can't.
Mm-mm,
No.
we can't. We have to do that on ourselves now that we can, because if you wait until you get older, then you're gonna find yourself in a situation that um you don't you don't want. I've seen so many people, Marlene, get displaced from, or put in homes, or displaced from their home, and then everything gets decided for them, and they have not a saying on what happens to them. And it's
Yeah.
sad, because I feel that when you're older, what you want to do is just stay in your house, relax, whatever it is that you want to do, right? But a lot of times, because you don't have anything in place, things don't get done. People do whatever they want. So, which is why we continue to say that we have to make sure that everything is set. We have to make sure that we're grown. And growing up means, making plans, having plans set up for us, making sure that no matter what happens to us, whether we lose our job today or tomorrow, that we have at least a few months of rent available. You know what I mean? Like things like that. That
Yep.
means being grown.
Yeah, it means that we're putting things in place and we're putting things in writing, not just saying to our
Mm-hmm.
siblings or whoever, this is what I want. Because when things happen, I've seen this working in the medical field, that all of that goes out the window because you could say what you want, but when when the emotions get involved, they're not going to care about what if you don't write down and have things in writing, like having a health care, a DPA, or having that
Mm-hmm.
will, having certain paperwork in place.
That
If you don't
will.
Yeah, if you don't have that in place, mm-mm, don't expect for other people to respect
Bye bye
respect what
birdie.
you want. Hmm.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is that a lot of times we don't think that our families will do that to us, but we have to make sure again that everything is in writing. Everything is legal, as you say. And that, if it's not with our family members, that we have it in writing somewhere else with a trustee
Mm-hmm.
so that they can follow. It's important.
It's so important. And that's the thing about growing. We can't just think, oh, somebody will take care of me or somebody else will do it if I don't do it. We don't know. And we don't want to be in a situation to what if we're not in the right mental state at that time and you're taken over to the state and you've never put anything in place. You have no money. You don't have people that will support you, you're going to be in quite a situation.
Mm-hmm.
So now, while you have your mind together, and make sure you're doing what you need to do. I know it's not an easy conversation to talk about
Yep.
being older or planning for your untimely, passing, but we have to have these sort of conversations because that's what you do when you're fully mature.
Yeah. My mother-in-law,
Yeah,
when
that's what we do when we're grown.
yep. When my mother-in-law passed away, we'll go back to my father-in-law. When he passed away, my mother-in-law didn't go and put the house that I'm living in her name. We thought she did. We didn't do that. Well, when we bought the house from my mother-in-law, the lawyer didn't look and see if had been put in her name. And now I'm going through problems because of it. We had a will, and it was all left to me. But now my nephew will not sign the papers so I can have the house in my name. And so I'm just playing a wait and see game. I couldn't do my homestead exemption again for the second year in a row. So
Wow,
I know
that's
people don't want to help their parents out, but you've got to make sure that the house and everything that they left you is legally yours. Do some research. Don't just let it say, okay, it's yours, even though we have papers saying that we bought the house with my mother-in-law, it wasn't hers to sell.
Wow.
That's why you leave
Yeah.
it in a trustee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta, and that's why I said you have to grow. You have to grow. You can't just think everything will be okay or somebody will take care of me. Mm.
Yeah. My
You can't,
father-in-law
and especially Marlene and Miss Roxanne. And so she sold it to you, but she didn't have the right to sell it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. When my father-in-law passed away, he was a banker and knew all about this business stuff. He sold houses and stuff. Well, my mother-in-law evidently did not go into the courts and put the house in her name, even though it was left to her. I cannot find a will for my father-in-law. And so when she wanted to move out of the house, she asked her oldest child, "Do you want the house?" "No, Mom, I'm not moving back to Georgia." She asked her next oldest, "No, Mom, we're not moving back to Douglasville, Georgia." Well, long story short, one moved to Alabama, one did move back, but then they moved out again. And so my husband said, "Yeah, I'll take the house, Mom." Well, the lawyer said to make it legal. And so family won't say anything, pay X amount of dollars. And so we paid around $50 for to make it legal.
Hmm.
But the lawyer did not look and see if the house was in my mother-in-law's name. They can't find anything at the courthouse saying it was in her name.
Hmm.
And that was back in 92 when we started living in this house.
Wow. That's one of
Wow.
the reasons why you have to make sure everything is done the way that it's supposed to be. And if you don't, you're going to be in situations like this. I'm so sorry that this is happening to you, Miss Roxanne.
Yeah, it's not easy, but I'm living with it, and
Me too.
I'm gonna try. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and who owns it now? Do they know?
My father-in-law still owns it. Who's dead? That's what they're saying. because they couldn't find any paperwork
Oh
from my
my, oh
mother-in-law.
my Lord.
Yeah, and he died in 89, 90, 89. And she lived here a year and a half or two. And in 90, Christmas 92, we moved here when my daughter was in, on winter break. Yep. And
Wow.
we thought the
Oh
lawyer,
no.
I told
But
the lawyer,
if you have all of that receipts, oh okay.
yeah, but I told the lawyer, I said, why didn't you look and see if the house was in my mother-in-law's name when you sold it to us? Well, you didn't ask me to do that. And I'm going, jerk. I'm sorry. He didn't ask.
Wow,
He
horrible
didn't
of you.
ask. He should have looked and said, he should have said, okay, we just went there to sign the paper legally, and all. And and it's a family friend that they've known for, since all their kids were little. And he should have, any lawyer that goes in, so you go to any lawyer and say, I'm going to buy my mother's house. That lawyer should say, okay, is it in your mother's name to sell it to you? But he didn't do that. He didn't look in the courts.
Yeah.
So it was not legal at all.
That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
But my husband and I had homestead exemption for years, and I said, now they won't give it to me. Even though it wasn't legal for us to have it, we had it. And now they're not. Now they're saying I can't have it.
Oh God.
Wow. I'm so sorry. That's really
terrible.
tough, Mr. Sam. That's really tough. That's the reason why it's so important to plan, to have conversations, to make sure things are in writing, and to, do things so that you won't be stressed out later in life. Great conversation, ladies. I really did appreciate it. Thank you so much, Miss Roxanne, Miss Nexie, everyone who is in the chat. Appreciate every single one of you. Any final words?
For me, it will be just make sure that you're taking care of your mental health first and foremost. Make sure that you are taking care of your mental health, and the rest that you're supposed to do for yourself will follow. Thank you for having me, Miss Marlene.
Thank you, Miss Nexie. I appreciate you. Miss Roxanne.
Yes, thank you, Marlene. It was wonderful.
I always appreciate you ladies coming up. And to everybody, my final words is, when we are grown, we have to think about what's best for our mental, emotional, spiritual, and financial well-being. And some people are not good for us. We need to leave them alone. We need to start thinking about us, what we want to do, what our plans are, what we're passionate about, what we're talented at, and then go after those things. And it's going to make some people upset and angry because they can't control or use us, but you have to know your own worth. You have to know your own life and do what's best for you. So thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody. Bye. I'm going to put links to Miss Roxanne's channel, and everybody on Saturday is going to be the Spring Empowerment Conference. I would really appreciate it if you guys could come through. I'm going to put those links onto the community page. Thank you for tuning in to the Marlene Saunders Show. Well, I was Marlene Saunders Show, the Motivated Podcast. I really do appreciate every single one of you for supporting me, supporting this channel. And I will definitely see you all on Wednesday for the Motivated Daily. See you guys then. Have a great rest of your day.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and leave your
forgive me. I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? I forgive me. I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? Ooh, boy.